In the headlines, House of Representatives passes 2023 budget as Senate okays supplementary appropriation. Death toll from Calabar Bikers Parade accident rises to 7. Work resumes after long Yuletide holiday. And on the foreign scene, at least 16 people die in bus crash in Sudan's Omdurman. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. The House of Representatives on Wednesday finally passed the 2023 budget of 21.82 trillion naira as against 20.5 trillion naira proposal submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari. The budget was increased by additional 1.31 trillion naira. The House also on Wednesday extended the implementation of the 2022 capital budget till March 31st, 2023. Also at plenary, the House passed the finance bill and the 2022 supplementary budget.
6,557,797,797 naira only is for debt service. 8,321,370,195,637 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure.
The Joint Committee sat and acted on the bill as mandated by the House. The committee observed the following: the effects of the 2022 flood across the country and its attendant consequences on the roads, bridges, farmlands, and water sector necessitated the supplementary appropriation bill. MDS involved in the supplementary appropriation bill's requests are Foreign Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Foreign Minister of Works and Housing, Foreign Minister of Water Resources.
Meanwhile, the Senate on Wednesday approved 819.5 billion naira as supplementary budget for 2022. The budget, according to the executive, is expected to be financed through new domestic borrowing. The report.
The Senate also amended the 2022 Appropriation Act in order to extend the implementation year from 31st December 2020 to 31st March 2023. Meanwhile, some lawmakers expressed reservations with the proposed supplementary budget from the executive.
If that is the case, assuming we pass it today, we have 120 days to implement. No, 90 in the next year. But we have this, okay, it's 90 days. 90 days, Mr. President, for advertisement, for selection of contractors, and even if it's agreed that some of the projects are ongoing.
There are projects that will last 3 years. And we cannot say because of the 90 days extension of this year's budget, we should jettison this provision which we have provided to take care of an emergency.
Approval of the supplementary budget brings the total deficit in 2022 to 8.17 trillion naira.
2022 budget, I'm sure it's over 20 trillion. And then we are implementing it in how many months? 12 months. They're implementing. This is under 1 trillion. And if the issue is to implement it in 3 months, maybe it may not be enough. But if you travel to Bayelsa and saw the devastation the flood caused, you will only agree with any person, any kind of support that they want to give to the people.
After a mild disagreement, members of the Senate chamber approved the 819.5 billion naira supplementary budget, while President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, expatiates on how the budget will be allocated.
770 naira. Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, 704 billion, 789 million, 762,043 naira. Federal Capital Treasury Administration, 30 billion naira. Federal Ministry of Water Resources, 15 billion 500 million naira. Aggregate
is 819 billion 536 million 937,813 naira only.
President Muhammadu Buhari had explained that the country decided to explore a supplementary budget as a result of the impact of the flood and the need to complete major roads, which are at 85% completion.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed 7 persons dead and 29 injured in an accident that occurred during the annual Calabar Carnival on Tuesday. The sector commander of the Corps, Meikano Hassan, who confirmed the incident to the News Agency of Nigeria, said the accident occurred in front of the Jumat Mosque in Bogobiri in the capital city of Cross Rivers during the bikers' activity of the carnival. He said the injured were rushed to Naval Hospital and the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital for medical attention, while the remains of the dead had been deposited in the 2 hospitals. According to him, the incident occurred when a Toyota Camry lost control and rammed into a crowd of onlookers. Governor David Umahi has directed the immediate arrest and prosecution of the state's APC chairman Stanley Emega and candidate of Afikpo North, Afikpo South Federal Constituency, Eni Uduma Chima, for their roles in the murder of 3 persons in Ekolieda. Governor Umahi gave the directives during an on-the-spot assessment of the level of damages in the area. According to a statement by his special aide, Chuks Oko, the governor also directed the Commissioner of Police to arrest all those connected with the carnage and ensure they face justice. The governor, while announcing the suspension of all social gatherings in Edda until normalcy returns, urged the Commissioner of Police to saturate the area with security presence to forestall further breakdown of law and order. As at the time of filing this report, the whole Ekolieda has been cordoned off by the combined team of the police, army, and Ebubeagu security outfit. Moving on to crime, Imo State Police Command says it has arrested one of the notorious and vicious IPOB ESN commanders and deserter from the Nigerian Army, Lance Corporal Nwagu Chinwendu, aka Onye Ami. Age 34, Nwagu Chinwendu, who has been on the command's wanted list, was being trailed for a long time. The suspect, said to be a native of Omahuru Nguru in Abombese local government area of Imo State, was arrested in his hometown during the late father's funeral. Parading the suspect before newsmen in Owerri on Wednesday, the police public relations officer Mike Abatam said the suspect unleashed surprise terror attacks and goes into hiding in neighboring states. According to police, the suspect, on sighting police operatives at the burial, took to his heels but was later arrested after a long chase alongside 2 of his gang members with bullet injuries, while others escaped. The police said investigation is ongoing while operatives are working in synergy with the military and the community to arrest the fleeing members of the terrorist group. No fewer than 780 suspects were arrested in connection with various crimes by the Kaduna State Police Command in the year 2022. The State Commissioner of Police, Yekini Ayoku, while parading some of the suspects at the command, said 116 suspects were convicted within the period under review. The report.
Parading 30 suspects in Kaduna, the Commissioner of Police, Yekini Ayoku, explained that 206 kidnapped victims were rescued, 49 rifles, 1,359 rounds of ammunition recovered, and 21 bandits neutralized, among others, in the outgoing year.
780 suspects were arrested in connection with various forms of crimes. 2. The total number of 116 suspects were convicted. 3. 206 kidnapped victims were rescued. 4. 49 rifles and other assorted guns were recovered. 5. 1,359 rounds of ammunition were equally recovered. 6. 17 bandits operational motorcycles were recovered. 7. 21 armed bandits were neutralized.
The commissioner said following the commencement of the campaigns, the command has been closely monitoring political activities to ensure a peaceful and hate-free exercise in the state.
I exploit this opportunity to re-echo my warnings to our politicians to avoid actions and conducts that are contrary to extant laws guiding the electoral process, as nobody will be spared in our determination to enforce the laws. 344 rounds of live ammunition. These people are kidnappers, kidnapped children, collected 4 million ransom, and still killed their victims.
Yekini also acknowledged that the support the command enjoyed from sister security agencies in the state led to the success recorded in the area of tackling insecurity in Kaduna State, and called on them to sustain such relationship. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
On security, bandits numbering about 10 on Tuesday night stormed Shirgi village of Batsari local government area of Katsina State and abducted 12 people. The bandits, it was learned, arrived at the village around 12:30 a.m., shooting sporadically to scare the villagers, and abducted family members of one Shaibu Shirgi. The abductees include women and children as well as 2 infants. According to reports from the villagers, security operatives are trailing the bandits with a view to rescuing the victims unhurt. Residents of the village and other neighboring communities are living in fear of further attacks from the bandits. The Katsina State Police Command is yet to confirm the incident. Suspected phone snatchers stabbed one Usman Ahmed Hassan while he was on early morning exercise, leading to his death. His death has raised concern over safety of residents taking morning exercise in Abuja, where incidences like Hassan's are common. Noel Sampson speaks to people on whether morning exercise can be restricted to homes or gyms to avoid exposure to attacks. His report.
Morning exercise is meant to improve health and physical fitness, but the prevailing security situation in Abuja is keeping many at home. Those who can afford to go to the gym for exercise, others use treadmill to exercise at home.
If you can jog, definitely you should be able to do a lot of exercises without going out of your comfort zone, your home. You can do jumping jack, but you have to make sure before you do all this, you have to make sure that your knee is good, your ankle is good, your back is good, your heart rate is very good, or you have a heart rate monitor that you can always check on your heart rate. You can do high knee, you can do squats without using weight, you can do lunges, walking lunges, stationary lunges, Romanian lunges.
However, some Abuja residents say they prefer to do morning exercise, but security challenge remains a call sign.
Because it's cheaper. If you look at the cost of going to gym, you can pay like 10,000 for a section, which you're not even sure you'll be going every time. Because there are other safe places. You can jog in the park where it's open. Maybe you jog in a quiet place or in a private place. You can jog in an open place and nobody will harass you or do you anything.
I prefer jogging because it's quite affordable for a lot of people and it's a complete exercise. And not everybody will want to have muscles or abs and all of that, but it reduces your weight, you have less weight. For me, I do it in my estate and it's quite safe. You can also do it in your room. Get a skipping rope. While you're jumping, it's almost tantamount to you jogging as well, and not necessarily adding abs or some muscles to your certain part of body.
Yes, they usually do that, but if I'm doing my own, it's within the axis that nobody, within my estate, I don't go outside. Yeah, I know there's a lot of risk is involved, sure.
It's very unfortunate to hear about this. I can't even begin to think of why somebody will be killed while they are trying to exercise in the morning. Like, it's a ridiculous concept. Personally, I do both, but I prefer going to the gym, because of the solitude that it provides and the equipment that is available. Like, gives you a whole lot of options. And even Nigerian roads, jogging on Nigerian roads, they are not really the smoothest to navigate.
Gymming because you have more options. Jogging is just jogging. You can do that outside of the gym as well because it's free. You don't have to pay for it. So
Research shows that physical activity can also boost self-esteem, mood, sleep quality, and energy, as well as reducing risks of stress, clinical depression, and so on. But the fear of attack keeps many away from morning walk. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Civil servants in the Federal Capital Territory are yet to resume work after the two-day public holidays declared by the federal government to celebrate Christmas. Checks by Trust TV on the expected resumption date at the Federal Secretariat reveals that less activities are being carried out with few workers seen at the complex. Many attribute this to lack of work ethic, motivation, and an unofficial resolve by some to continue celebrating the Yuletide. The report.
With the Christmas and Boxing Day public holiday over, work is expected to begin in earnest, but there is a low turnout of civil servants at the Federal Secretariat, housing a number of ministries, which usually has an influx of workers on weekdays.
Actually, we came from Kano, and this morning we entered the building. We asked for protection office. They say it's not around today. It's off because of the Christmas. So we have to go back to Kano now, and we come back.
Holiday is never too okay for us. So if it is for me, I say we resume next week, Monday.
Just few, maybe people that travel far, and maybe probably tomorrow they'll be around.
There is no salary increment. Things in the market are so expensive. You know, when civil servants are not motivated, you cannot see them doing the right thing sometimes. But apart from that, the government should try and take some measures in the salary aspect.
Some of the civil servants blamed the low turnout of workers after the holidays on the fact that some of the workers were on annual or casual leave and had traveled for the Yuletide.
It's the end of the year. A majority of the staff always like taking their leave, the normal leave. Some take, maybe because of meetings and activities, some take casual leave. Majority takes annual leave. So the total turnover is planned out.
We Nigerians, we use opportunity a lot. Once an opportunity is given to us, we want to utilize it above the normal days. The holiday actually was enough for us to celebrate the Yuletide, but people overdo.
Although it is not business as usual, many are optimistic that activities at the Secretariat would pick up in earnest after the New Year celebration. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're still watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Breathtaking cultural heritage of the Tungo Kingdom. Do stay with us.
That's great. It's good to see you.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. We told you that House passes 2023 budget as Senate okays its supplementary appropriation. You also heard that death toll from Calabar Bikers Parade accident rises to 7. Moving to more news, presidential candidate of New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, says his government will give priority to education and youth empowerment as a means of rebuilding the country if elected in the 2023 elections. Kwankwaso, who stated this in Gusau on Wednesday, identified vibrant youths with their talents effectively utilized as part of the crucial or critical areas of nation building. He decried the situation which had left Nigeria with more than 20 million out-of-school children, pledging to ensure that the children were given sound education from primary to tertiary level. According to him, the socio-economic and political challenges currently confronting the country are direct consequences of poor education that has resulted in poverty and unemployment among the teeming youth. The former Kano State governor expressed optimism that NNPP would win the 2023 general elections. His campaign motorcade moved to Gauran Namoda, where he told his teaming supporters in the area that propaganda are being carried to underrate NNPP and its popularity across the country, assuring them that the party will surprise many in the forthcoming general elections. President Muhammadu Buhari says security agencies will be engaged in the various support services in the 2023 elections, which includes the distribution and monitoring of classified materials and other logistics. Speaking at the commissioning of the Defense Intelligence Agency's newly acquired estate in Idu-Karmo, Abuja, the president urged the agencies to be apolitical and maintain the high sense of professionalism in accordance with standing operation procedures. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The newly inaugurated staff accommodation for the DIA contains 16 units of 3-bedroom terrace buildings with boys' quarters and 48 units of 3-bedroom flats, all en suite. It underscores the president's belief that befitting accommodation will enhance productivity and coordination of activities of staff of the agency. It is an opportunity for the nation's #1 citizen to acknowledge the efforts of the agency in tackling security challenges plaguing the country. With another challenge looming in form of the 2023 elections, the president is advising that the best approach is to remain apolitical.
Let me reiterate, as we approach our general election in 2023, security agencies will be engaged with various support and assistance in the elections, particularly with distribution and monitoring of classified materials and other logistics. This must be done professionally and in accordance with standard operation procedures.
Acknowledging the president's commendation, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Samuel Adebayo, says much of the progress made is due to President Buhari's approving requests for technical intelligence and advanced technological acquisitions. Most of the newly acquired technical equipment, he says, have been deployed and are helping to address the security challenges across the country.
We have continued to carry out Defense Intelligence Agency's mandates conscientiously with positive outcomes. Prioritize technical and communication aspects of intelligence in support of the armed forces operations and activities within and outside the country. We have also successfully dominated the threat environment with a combination of special intelligence operations and non-kinetic activities. These operations have recorded huge successes that have continued to deny the enemies of state cohesion and capabilities to withstand our fighting forces.
The investment of the DIA in staff quarters is expected to complement its vision of achieving improved national security by reducing accommodation challenges for its workers in the Federal Capital Territory. From the Federal Capital, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Cultural dancers, artists and traditional rulers have converged in Gombe State for the 2022 Kaltungo Annual Cultural Festival. The Kaltungo Cultural Festival is an annual event organized by the Kaltungo Chiefdom to preserve the cultural heritage of the people. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
That was the mood
at the 2022 Kaltungo Annual Cultural Festival holding in Kaltungo Town, Kaltungo Local Government Area of Gombe State. For years, the Mai Kaltungo, Saleh Muhammadu, has been championing the promotion of the cultural heritage of the people through the festival.
They give us peace and it makes my people happy. When people are happy, there's release, there's no room for maybe depression or something like that in their mind that will motivate them to do something bad. So keeping them happy is the secret of having peace among our people.
Gombe State Government says the Kaltungo Cultural Festival helps in fostering unity among diverse people across the state, vowing to replicate the same program at the state level.
And this event that we are holding today is helping to provide the bondage, the necessary support that is supposed to guide peace, tranquility, and security in our states. So I urge all to be law-abiding. I urge all to support the efforts and initiatives of people like the Mai Kaltungo.
At the sideline of the event, artists, through their works, showcase the beauty of artistic materials of Gombe people.
We mobilized the artists from Gombe and we selected the artworks from different artists from Gombe to come and display them here, because we discovered that this is a platform that aims at promoting culture and to promote ingenuity from our communities. So that's why we are here, to also display what we have.
It is believed that the cultural festival will continue to bring people of diverse backgrounds under a single umbrella to promote peace and strengthen the cultural heritage of the people of Kaltungo Chiefdom. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
And finally, on the foreign scene, at least 16 people died on Tuesday after a passenger bus slammed into a parked truck on a highway in the Sudanese city of Omdurman. According to a police statement, the bus swerved off the road and hit a parked truck. At least 19 people were injured in the accident. The bus was heading to Khartoum from Fasha, the provincial capital of North Darfur province, police said. Ambulances rushed to the scene to transfer the injured to the Omdurman hospital, while the dead were taken to the morgue. There was no immediate word as to what caused the bus to swerve. Traffic accidents are common in Sudan, often the result of badly maintained roads and poor enforcement of traffic laws. Thousands of people are killed every year in road accidents. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.